Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. My name's Davida Shinsky, and the title of this program is Live Without Limits. Today's show is titled 7 Ways to Double Your Income in 12 Months, even in the Corona economy. I'm talking about this now because even when the coronavirus is over, we are going to be doing business very differently than we did it in the past. Therefore, it's very important to understand that and what has been going on in the last few years. And if you look back towards the latter part of the 20th century, in the 90s, you started seeing more remote workers. Why? Because companies were looking for ways to cut their expenses. And when they cut their expenses, that meant that it was more about working from home. And you've seen where more and more people are purchasing online rather than doing everything in the department stores today. So just because we go back to things the way they were in the past, business has totally changed how they are doing business. So no matter how bad things in your life and business right now, whether the coronavirus crisis killed your business, cost you your job, or slashed your revenue by 50%, resourcefulness, resilience, and restless entrepreneurs are still finding ways to dominate the game around them and achieve record-breaking income. And so can you. You might have to get creative and pivot your business, and you might even have to work a lot harder than you would have last year, but you can still make 2020 a record-breaking year if you're willing to take action and keep pushing forward no matter what. And today, I'm going to give you 7 simple tips to help you double your income in the corona economy and grow your business faster than ever. The first thing you need to do is know your numbers. What gets measured gets managed, said Peter Drucker. Imagine this. You're on a plane, flying out to complete a consultation with a client you recently closed. After sitting down in your chair and watching the safety briefings that you've seen hundreds of times before, you hear a voice crackling over the intercom. This is your captain speaking. Just wanted to let you know that we've got a 3-hour flight ahead of us. Unfortunately, the gauges up here in the cockpit aren't working, and the machines can't get an accurate reading on some of the pre-flight checklist numbers. But I'm pretty sure that we have enough fuel. Enjoy your flight. Sounds crazy, right? Neither you nor I would ever trust a pilot to fly us across the country without knowing that he had enough fuel to get us to the destination safely. Yet, so many entrepreneurs do this exact thing in their business. They blindly stumble around, guessing as to how much money they should spend on Facebook ads, what sort of affiliate commission they should offer, and how many expenses they can afford while staying profitable. And the result is always catastrophic. Listen, to succeed in the game of business, you must know your numbers. You wouldn't allow a doctor to administer anesthesia without first calculating the dose for your procedure and your body weight. You wouldn't buy a house without knowing the exact price of the home, the interest rate they charge by the bank, and the amount of property taxes owed each year. So why would you run a business without knowing exactly the cost to acquire a lead, the cost to convert leads to customers, the lifetime value of new customers, and lastly, the total amount monthly expenses that you have? You don't have at least a basic understanding of the numbers driving your business. You are playing with a self-imposed handicap. By default, when you don't know your numbers, you're making decisions based on your emotions, not logic. You are guessing and firing shots in the dark. I don't think I need to tell you this is not an effective way to achieve your goals. So if you have not done so already, sit down this week and learn your numbers. Find the record of the exact metrics behind your marketing, sales, and retention. Because once you know your numbers, you can make the right decisions required to increase your income and grow your brand. And here's one more thing to think about. Whenever you have a business, you need a business plan. And why do you need a business plan? Because that business plan is your roadmap on what you're going to do with your business. And it gives you a financial plan to work with so that you know your numbers. Never lower your expectations or shift your strategy. It's normal to experience downtimes in your business, months where the revenue drops off inexplicably, seasons where, due to the appearance of Santa and all his elves, customers just don't buy the way they normally do. And during these months, it's equally normal to lower your expectations and strap yourself in for a few bumpy months. Here's the thing. I know that you don't want to be normal. You don't want to have a normal life or a normal business. You want to build an empire. And empire builders aren't the kinds of people to lower their expectations or accept anything less than the absolute best from themselves and their teams. For example, my buddy, Bedros, doesn't allow the slow season during the last quarter of the year to slow down the speed with which he builds his empire. Instead, he doubles his marketing spend to ensure that his company continues to grow. And because he knows his numbers, he stays profitable, even when he has to spend twice as much money to close a new franchise. In your business, you must do the same. How can you raise your expectations when others are lowering theirs? How can you raise and get resourceful and find unique solutions to ensure that your company papers while others simply coast by? How can you shift your strategy to guarantee growth when the rest of your industry is flatlining? In the same way that some of the biggest businesses are built and scaled during recessions, some of your greatest growth will come when you make the decision to double down on your efforts when others cut theirs in half. You really need to know your industry. And why is that so important? For one simple reason, that you need to know who your competition is, what money they're spending, and how successful they are, and who your niche is, and when are the times that they buy. Is your industry recession-proof? Or how can you adapt? There's so many things that you can literally do for yourself to make sure that you know exactly how to account and when to spend dollars for advertising and where to spend dollars. Now, we're actually dealing with business being done through e-commerce today. So remember, every business today needs a website, and they need to have sales funnels, and they need to use social proof. They need to do the things that can help them grow their business online as well as offline. So when you're online, what are you doing? You're going into social media where you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, and you're promoting yourself. And you're creating articles on your website, and you're linking them to all your social media, so that what you're doing is creating a footprint on the internet. Offline, you're going to things like meetup groups or leads clubs, where you get to be the only one in your industry and promote what you do and how you do it. With that being that for you, it's a way to build a successful business today. Be a creator, not a consumer. One of my favorite sayings of 2020 is you must stop using social media and start using business media. Too many people waste their lives scrolling and double tapping their days away on Instagram or Facebook when they could be building an empire and leaving a legacy. What that means, instead of reading what other people's material are, why not concentrate on promoting your things? This is why time management is so important, because you want to know what's going on with your competition, so you're going to want to read some of this stuff. But always remember this. Think of it as every minute that you are on social media reading someone else's material, they're making money and your time is being lost. So always think of your time in dollars and cents and how much you can gain by building and promoting yourself just as well as reading someone else's material. Because when you read someone else's material, you can get good ideas on how to promote yourself, but you really do need to understand. Don't spend hours on it, because when you spend hours reading someone else's stuff, you're losing that much money per hour. So always think of yourself as how much is your time worth to you, and how can you spend it in a time and in a way that is going to guarantee that you can access and increase your income. Instead, I encourage all my clients and readers to use social media platforms as business media platforms. Use them as a tool to grow your income, expand your influence, and increase your impact, instead of using it to entertain yourself and sedate the pain of your problems. But this philosophy extends far beyond Instagram or any other social media channel. You see, we live in a society that makes it very easy to be a consumer. There are more than 2 million new blog posts published every day, billions of hours of videos available on YouTube, and countless posts and hilarious memes shared on social media. And most people allow this abundance of content to prevent them from ever creating anything meaningful or valuable in their lives or business. So in 2020, my challenge to you is simple. Stop consuming and start creating. Sure, you can still read books, listen to podcasts, and watch YouTube videos, but be conscious in your consumption and commitment to creating more than you consume. Instead of reading yet another article on fitness or business, write one yourself. Instead of listening to another podcast, find 10 people to interview and start your own. Instead of watching an endless stream of motivational, educational videos, pull out your phone, hit record, and make one for your business. The world belongs to the creators. And when you create a market that's enough valuable content in your business and have the right closing processes in place, the money will follow. Let me tell you this much. I do read articles online, and I do listen to podcasts online, and I do watch YouTube videos, but I'm also creating my own because I have 8 e-learning courses, with each of them having 30 videos each, and they're all up on YouTube, and they're unlisted so that they are linked to my courses. So to listen to them, you have to purchase my course. And I use and write my own articles on my websites that help promote what I'm doing. So I'm creating content on a daily basis. This podcast, every week that I do it, I'm creating more content. So as you can see, even though I'm a consumer of content, I'm also a creator of content. And if you want to build a business online, you have to be a creator. Now, what I'm going to do is talk to you for a second about team building, because it's the core words are CARE: creator, advancer, refiner, and enforcer. And what that means is you have someone that's very creative in how they think and in how they talk, and then you have someone that can take all of those creative ideas and refine them, so that what happens is that the advancer takes and looks at it all. He sees what's going to work and what isn't going to work. Then he passes either back to the creator, or he will pass it on to the refiner, who literally refines it and narrows it down. Then you have the enforcer, who takes all that information and puts it out there. So think about it this: if you're the creator of content and you have someone else that takes your material and refines it so that it literally is, in a way, it's all put together and sounds good without any leaks in it. And then you've got also the facilitator that knows how to work with all 4 people and make everything gel. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about a team. Choose pain and discipline today to achieve freedom tomorrow. Jim Rohn, one of the fathers of the personal development industry, once said, "We might all suffer one or two types of pain: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is that discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. And to catapult yourself to the next level of success and freedom, you must choose the pain of discipline. Listen, I won't lie and tell you that making more money while working less is going to be easy. I won't. It's hard to wake up early, go to the gym every week, work long hours in your business to build momentum, set boundaries in your work and life, and do the things necessary to build an empire. But you know what? Even harder, lying on your deathbed, wishing that you could go back and do it all over again, wasting your life in pursuit of pleasure over fulfillment, and dying with regret that you didn't live the fullest life possible and reach your potential and have a meaningful impact regardless of your lot in life or the success that you achieve. Life is going to be hard. It's going to be filled with pain. So choose the pain of discipline over the pain of regret. This is the only prescription for living your life that you truly want. Now, I'm going to back up here for a second. And what I'm going to do is tell you a little story. And I grew up with a disability around the time that society did not have laws or even hid away its disability community and treated them as though they didn't exist. At least in my case, I did get an education, in spite of the fact that I was the only person in the classroom with a disability. And when it came time to actually get a job, I entered the workforce 12 years before ADA became law. Therefore, when it came to the private sector, I couldn't find any decent, gainful employment where I was making a high enough income that I was forced to look for other avenues and ways to earn an income. So that what I did was I looked at entrepreneurship because I knew that I love working independently. And why did I work independently? Because as a child growing up, I was often being criticized. And remember something, because I have cerebral palsy and it affects how the brain processes information, my grades never really showed what my true potential was. Therefore, I had to figure out and really learn things on my own, because what was happening was I was taking the information in, but when it came time to take the test, no matter how much I studied, my grades never showed what I was truly capable of doing. So I had to figure out ways that I could be successful that worked for me and may not have worked for someone else. And I'm not saying that what I did you can do, but you can always, through trial and error and even failure, use it as a stepping stone and a learning process for what works for you. Stop discounting your greatness. I was on a call with a client. I'd recently started a health and nutrition coaching company. She was in an incredible shape, but her meal planning and prepping perfectly dialed in, knew exactly how to train in the gym for optional results, and so much knowledge about biology and physiology that you would have assumed that she had a PhD. Yet, while we were on the call, she told me, I just don't understand why people would pay me to teach them the stuff. I mean, doesn't everyone already know this? You see, We all have this stupid human trick of assuming that just because something comes easily to us, or because we've developed an expertise and skills in a certain area that everyone else has too. But we couldn't be more wrong. When I first made the leap from training to online coaching, I struggled with this myself. I assumed that people just knew how to plan their days, structure their weeks, and tap into the fast cash profit activators lying dormant in their business. But after a few coaching calls, I realized that just because I knew all of these things didn't mean that other people did too. To take this business to the next level in 2020, you must stop discounting your greatness. Stop assuming that other people know the things that you know and can do the things that you can do, because most of them can't. Your biggest strength is someone else's greatest weakness. And when you hold back, when you discount your greatness and hide your gifts from the world, you're preventing them from accessing the solution and system that they need to solve their biggest problems. The simple fact of the matter is that most people only have 2 to 3 areas of expertise in their life. One person might be great in relationships, but have no idea what they're doing in the gym. Another might be great at making money, but lack the systems they need to keep and grow the money. Others lack the basic interpersonal skills to navigate romantic relationships and hold down a long-term partner. Whatever you're good at, whatever your area of expertise, there is someone out there who is struggling with that area in their life and needs to solve their problems. So stop discounting your greatness and commit in using the grit to help others. And this is what I want you to think about, that in this, every one of us, we all are unique. And I'm going to talk a minute about this because that's where this really fits into helping you understand exactly how your natural behavioral patterns work. And remember this much, every one of us are unique. Every one of us have something that we're good at and more of an expert at than someone else. And that's what you can sell, is that expertise. So the disc is the D, meaning the dominant personality, who literally believes they can control the everything. The high I is the person with interpersonal skills, and that means they can talk to everyone and anyone about any topic and make friends easily. The S personality is the steadiness personality, and that's someone that they literally do everything by the book. And the last true one is the C, or the conscientiousness behavior pattern, and that person questions everything. Now, we all have all these behavior patterns within us, but some are our strengths and some are our weaknesses. So we need to interact with people who have strengths in areas where we're weak. And you can go to my website, and that's the #1, personalcareercoach.com, and you can sign up for coaching, and we can sit down with you and help you develop a plan that works for you.